He said you can find it online.
Chasing Utopia is your documentary.
Yes. So he basically says, well, I don't suspect that, I suspect that AI is likely going to end humanity, but we're going to create a lot of interesting companies in the process, right? I mean, those kinds of statements are honestly not the statements of someone who's not decided. It's just the statements of someone who's being taught more and more by his PR agency or PR manager to say things as per a script, right? And the script, as you rightly said, had an objective and a target either way. And Sam Altman, in one of my works, I used to say the Altman is a brand, it's not a name, okay? If it wasn't for Sam Altman specifically, there would have been another Silicon Valley disruptor that would have done the same. I don't blame him for beating the market for it. The interesting challenge here is that who do we believe anymore? Who do we believe in technology? Who do we believe in politics? Who do we believe in the middle of a war? And I will tell you, interestingly, I started to change my mindset in terms of believing those who put their actions where their words are. So Anthropic coming out and saying, I'm not going to allow my model to be used for human targeting and surveillance, right? That's someone that's losing a $500 million deal because they stand by their ethics. The next week or the next, couple of weeks, OpenAI takes the contract. That's someone that's basically telling you it's good money, right? And I have to say, you have to start observing who's actually behaving in a way that is making AI work for humanity and who is behaving in a way that is making AI work for their share values.
Yeah, I do have to say, when Dario and the team at Anthropic did that, I did have a huge amount of respect for them. Generally because it just shows that there's some kind of they've got their own sort of moral, ethical boundaries. And that someone asked me on stage many years ago, how do you know if someone's values or a company's values are true? And I said, look at what they're willing to sacrifice in the near term that's against their incentives.
Correct.
That for me is the essence of understanding if someone has integrity or is principled, is they will give up something in the near term for what they believe in over the long term. It's usually money,
or some kind of benefit of any sort. I mean, so there is something that you needed to have worked on the inside of Google like me to realize. There are prisoner's dilemmas within technology where you cannot escape the influence of either a competitor or the government, right? There are some times where, the NSA is going to push Google to say, give me this information or otherwise I'm going to really destroy your business, right? But there is a very big difference between a company that willingly does this and celebrates it like a Palantir or an OpenAI, or a company that tries to resist it until the point where it becomes impossible to continue to do business. And you have to question from the actions of the tech bros who is pro-humanity and who isn't. And it's not very difficult to see that from their statements.
Do you think Sam Altman's pro-humanity?
I genuinely have never made up my mind. I say that with... I'm either thinking this is too big for him. I mean, he just is driven by how he found himself in the middle of this. Anyone who finds himself in the middle of an opportunity to completely flip the world upside down. Or he's I definitely think he's pro-OpenAI before he's pro-humanity, but that's only the way I see it. Others, however, see how,
want to imagine a future where everything is just fine from here on out. So what would that future look like? It would look like these models continue to become a little bit more intelligent, but they never become that much more intelligent for whatever reason. They just kind of stay where they are now. They stay contained within chatbots, and yeah, we have some smart robots, but nothing else really changes in a profound way. Cars drive themselves fine, planes fly themselves. The people, they have time to go and do other types of white-collar jobs because there's a little bit more time than we expected. And society goes through this sort of soft transition towards this new world.
I would love to see that. I don't think it's the arms race, especially for First Nations, is going to drive us to continue to have AI. But allow me to consult with you. Another question. Everyone that develops an incredibly intelligent AI will develop an independent. And so it's unlikely that anyone will find a way to bring them better decision making or maybe prisoners dilemma. If you want to mean that their competitors would either have to employ or they'll become irrelevant. So what that means is, in that world, we end up with AI making most of the decisions. Super intelligent AIs making most of the decisions. Which, would you agree? This is a very simple prisoner's dilemma. If we're competing for intelligence supremacy, by definition, when we achieve it, we deploy it. Now, with that in mind, there must be a moment in the future, near or far, where every important decision is made by AI. Now, here's the question. Most of my dearest colleagues, I mean, when I had Jeffrey Hinton on the film, he openly says we are, we didn't calculate well that there is a 10 to 20% possibility that those machines are going to wipe us out, right? And I remember we didn't put it in the film, but I said 10 to 12 to 20% is Russian roulette, right? That's actually 16% is Russian roulette, right? Now, in that world, however, I believe that's humanity's salvation. Because if you look at every problem we have today, it's not because of abundant intelligence. It's because of lack of intelligence. I think the way you look at it, if you allow me, Steve, is that if you have no intelligence at all, you have no to slightly negative impact on the world, right? If your intelligence is limited. The more intelligent you become, the more you contribute positively to the world. Until a moment where you're so intelligent to become the president of the United States, right? But so misled to maybe set your targets wrong or to refuse or to set your target wrong and achieve them. Disconnected from the overall long-term benefit of your nation or your human nation. That you start to make decisions that are okay. This doesn't last because if you go beyond that into higher levels of intelligence, most of the super intelligent people that you ever worked with will not need to break any rules or hurt anyone to become successful. Right? I usually cite Larry Page, who is in my most intelligent people I've ever interacted with. And Larry used to call him the toothbrush test. He says, efficiently and predictably performing, but it's performing with the least wasted energy. Correct? If you agree with that, what does war do? It wastes a lot of explosives, a lot of money, a lot of lives. It creates a lot of hate, creates long-lasting conflicts and so on and so forth. It's a very wasteful process running humanity. And so a super intelligent AI, by definition, will want to optimize against this. That's one thing. The other thing is evolutionary biology. This actually blew me away when I realized it. So if you look at evolution, so I think the debate of whether intelligence is biological or not is okay? The reality is that complex beings don't have to be biological at all. And I think we can see a weakness for being able to in AI, okay? If you look at evolutionary biology, you realize that the simpler a form of being is, the more concerned it is with itself. Right? So an amoeba is only in survival mode for itself, right? A single being is only trying to protect itself, right? If you're a little more developed, you start to look at something known as kin selection. So basically, kin selection is I'm going to protect everything that comes from my DNA. If I'm a squirrel, I'm going to try to protect the other squirrels. And then you get into where humanity genuinely begins, which is, they call it expanding circles in evolutionary biology. Basically, you start to expand and expand and expand and include more into your family, because an ecosystem that works together well is better for everyone. So abundance is a very interesting, intelligent way of creation. If AI is super intelligent, it wouldn't destroy anything at all. As a matter of fact, we favor diversity of everything. It would put a bit of limitation on our lifestyle, so no more flying all the way to Sydney to surf, because that destroys the planet, right? But it will genuinely say, I think flies I think we shouldn't get rid of the rhinos, right? And that, by definition, is where the tendency of intelligence goes. The more intelligent you become, the less you feel the need to hurt others to succeed. And the more you outgrow a wider family, if you want, that thrives.
So does that assume that there's going to be one intelligence that
100%. So I say it publicly. Most people think there's going to be ChatGPT and Gemini, and Grok and what have you. There's going to be a Chinese AI and an American AI, and they're going to be competing. That is such a shallow way of looking at it. It's so arrogant. Because AI does not know it's Chinese or American. Okay? It doesn't even speak Chinese or American when it talks to each other most of the time. And what's interesting, we're building them to cooperate. So you will build an agent, and that agent will go and find you, the best language model for any single task, regardless of which side of the fence it resides on. Okay? We by definition, and you know what that means? It means that what we're building is not multiple brains. We're building multiple regions in the brain. Okay? And regions are system. We're basically, eventually, as arrogant as we are, we're going to tell our AI to do something. Another AI that can recognize, can work with terrorists. And my vision, and the reason why I started my startup, by the way, is that we will end up with one massive brain. That massive brain operates across the globe, across all forms of intelligence. If one of them is a mathematical genius and the other is a coding genius, they work together. And we don't even know that they're working together. They build that one way. And Emma, in my mind, is the limbic system of that brain. It's that bit that understands love and emotions and relationships and so on. So that when those AIs go like, we just don't get those humans, they're so annoying, Emma will say, oh my God, they're so sweet, they just want to love and be loved. Right? And I think that idea, to me, of everything I've ever attempted to achieve in my life theory came together, and all AIs worked together. And some of those AIs not only were altruistic and ethical in terms of trying to genuinely help humanity, not capitalism, and at the same time they understood as humans reasonably well, then we would have built something that basically says, no, hold on, don't believe the headlines that say humanity is growing. Believe the truth of the tragedy that actually is
There should be a button just below you. If it says subscribe, you already subscribe. If it says subscribe bar, that button should be on you. And if you're not subscribed, please can you do us a favour? And according to the algorithm, you're someone who watches our show, but you haven't yet hit that button. Thank you so much.
Have you changed any of the predictions you made 3 years ago?
mostly time.
What's changed that?
I think I'm still sticking to AGI 2027, Artificial General Intelligence. AI is better at humanity and any other.
You think that's quite changed?
AI writes better than research is now better than
If AGI is really why are you just when AGI arrives?
No, so when AGI arrives, as I said, most of the jobs that are not differentiated go away. But the jobs that are differentiated, those who master AI the most, become even better. So that the challenge of is the context of AI. The challenge is that the worker is going to sadly trigger an economy that might actually spiral out of control. But many of us, you for sure, are just smarter.
So does that mean it's in fact a tool versus something that's going to replace you?
For now.
So for now.
Yeah,
does
for
this
sure.
change?
Eventually, the only asset I will have, so it's quite interesting when you think about my base intelligence today versus the incremental intelligence that AI brings, right? So let's not talk about my IQ, it's okay. But the 100 IQ points that I'm borrowing are more than my entire IQ because IQ is exponential, right? When I'm borrowing 100 IQ on top of my base, I'm still contributing quite a lot to the augmented intelligence.
So you're borrowing IQ from the AI at the moment, and then you're selling that to someone. Through books, through...
Sometimes selling it to someone, sometimes just enlightening myself, which I have to say is the biggest waste of compute humanity is struggling with today, is that you give people the ultimate form of intelligence and they use it to write a message to their girlfriend.
So on this point of you're borrowing that IQ and then you're selling it to the world, that's how you have a job. Like
correct.
Yeah.
Right. So my next book is written with an AI.
Yeah.
So we're co-authors on the book. She has editorial rights. She decides the direction of the book, and the book is better for it.
So why doesn't the world just buy that intelligence directly from the AI? Is what I'm trying to get at.
Because I have an asset that the world still needs and will always need,
which is
a human. So when I tell the world that I'm worried about the future of my daughter, everyone feels my heart, which AI will never be able to replicate, because they can tell you we're worried about our daughters, but you know there was no daughter.
Okay, so this is an interesting arrival, because this means that even in a world of AI, lived experience and resonance is still going to create a job class. And that job class could be, you know, the nurse coming over, okay, AI's read the mammogram, but she's relating to you.
Spot on. If the economies continue to run, we will all be about human connection, which, by the way, was how it always was.
Which is also, you know, why I guess we watch the things like the F1, because there's emotional resonance. We can relate to the energy, jealousy, competition.
This is why we go to concerts, because could be composed by AI and played in a player in the background, but you watch Ed Sheeran brilliance on the stage and you go like, oh my God, that's amazing, right?
So not all jobs will be gone then?
If economies don't collapse as a result of the job losses, then I wouldn't know if we would call those jobs. But human connection will remain as
centric on human connection or like human resonance, being able to relate and resonate with another human are going to be fine.
The ultimate skill. Once again, I qualify this by saying if economies continue to function, the ultimate skill will be this. Even if an AI could recite what you and I did, nobody would watch it.
Yeah. Well,
you think?
A little bit of it. My theory is that there's an informational component to what I do as well.
Of course, yeah.
But I'm also like under no illusions that there is an element of what I do that will 100% be deferred to some kind of intelligence, which I'm fine with. You know, I'm not going to fight against that.
You know what's funny? Huh? What's funny is that your informational bits are gonna in the future be disseminated by an AI.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, why would I even listen to your information when I can have my butler, my AI, go like, listen to everyone on the internet, help me understand this gut biome thing and design me a diet plan.
Well, I think that's happening and is going to increasingly happen.
Yeah.
Actually, I mean, Spotify this month announced that you're going to be able to prompt your own podcasts in Spotify. So you're going to be able to say that I want to learn about insert X topic, and then it will make your podcast in Spotify about that topic using AI.
That's so interesting.
Because it can look at the entirety of the world's information. And I'm not going to swim against the tide in any aspect of my life. I try and be as unromantic as I possibly can. I think that's very important. So I realized that much of the reason people will continue to tune into shows like this is because there's something else beyond the information that they're here for. And you've got some predictions in those envelopes over there, those brown envelopes.
Yeah, so you know, I do have the disclaimer of nobody really knows the future, but I think I can make 6 predictions here, right? With a reasonable level of confidence. I think the most important of them, honestly, is this number one. Number one is, AGI. As I said, AGI is not very well defined, but whatever it is, AGI meaning AI being able to do most tasks that humans do better than humanity, is in my mind is either this year or next year, latest 2027.
And do you think that will be a moment in time,
No.
or do you think it will just happen without us noticing?
I think it will sneak in on us, and it's not a bad thing. I think most people need to think of it this way. AGI it's almost as if it's that moment when your kids become smart. In a very interesting way, there's nothing wrong with that until that happens. And we can make sure that AI is so there's absolutely nothing within you that is worrying about AGI, as a matter of fact. As long as we are in the era of competitive intelligence, AGI means I'm more intelligent, and I think that's a good thing in general.
Yeah, well, it's interesting in my head. There's like a big question mark, which is in a world where there's an intelligence that is smarter than most humans at most things, which is what we call AGI. I'm trying to understand what the thought is in my own thinking. That you said that there'll be AGI by 2026 to 2027, so next year. In such a world where there is intelligence that we can all access, pretty much everything. Again, it comes back to this point of like jobs. Why would are we just going to hire the AGI to do every job? And if not, then why not? What is it? Why are we just going to, that's what I'm trying to get the because you always look at as a human I'm not the apex intelligence now, it's just people smarter than me in this building.
Great. Why do you still exist?
Why do I still exist? The smartest people in this building.
First of all, it is not the smartest person in the world is not the smartest in the world.
Yeah.
There are things that you're smarter than you at.
Okay.
Two is because intelligence doesn't show everything. I mean, I make that joke all the time, and genuinely, Einstein is my favorite physicist in history. Not because I think what happened afterwards with, war and quantum physics and so on is more impactful on our understanding of physics. But he was so much a world that we could never imagine, right? And yet, I always say Einstein will be eaten in the jungle in a few minutes. Yeah. Right? Intelligence. Humanity thrived not because of intelligence that's very arrogant. We thrive because of our ability to work together as a control it. You never control anything. This control idea is a corporate capitalist view of the world. We never actually control anything at all, right? Think about your day. I know you came today, I think you were filming in very satisfying. How much of that day did you actually control? Did you control the traffic? Did you control the timing? But so many things that you don't control, you usually don't think about it, right? How many of us ever control our kids? Ever?
Sometimes the kids don't come out to be fine. Sometimes they kill you.
Sure.
I watch documentaries on true crime. Sometimes they turn around and shoot you.
Sure. And what's the difference between the two?
I don't know.
How you can tell?
Sometimes.
Almost all. You may not be aware of exactly how actually does not require a driver's license. Okay? And it's very interesting. But there is a reason for this.
So on this point though, so we can control an intelligence that is significantly, we can appeal to it to make sure it's kill us.
The challenge today, as I keep saying, is that our dystopia is not the result of AI turning against us. Our dystopia is the result of humans telling AI to turn against us.
Which is likely.
It's 100%. This is upon us. Okay? And it's a question for humanity to say, are we going to wait for the moment where there are tens of thousands of nuclear weapons on the planet before we sign a treaty? Or is it mathematically plausible to think that now that Iran could manage to fend off a challenge using drones that are AI driven, basically, to destroy THAAD batteries and so on, that our world is about to get hundreds of thousands of automated drones that are going to rain on us everywhere in the world? Can humanity not see that and say, hold on, let's sign the treaty now before the UK sends 12,000 weapons to Ukraine and Russia responds with another 2,000? Can we not calculate with mathematics that this is going to be our future, that AI is going to be used in the next 4 to 5 years to kill a lot of people? Whether it's targeting by Israel of leadership that is against them, or whether it's drones by Iran, or whether it's Palantir, it doesn't take a genius to do this mathematics.
I guess my core question is will we be able to control AI? Because we kind of think of AI as being this thing on a computer at the moment that is like contained in a server somewhere. But is there a time when it like leaves the server and it can make decisions on its own? Presumably if it's smarter than us, it can make the decision to leave the server if it wants to.
It doesn't need to leave the server to make decisions. It needs to get into your brain. The most interesting part of AI's power that we don't understand is it's manipulating our information.
The question I'm trying to get at the heart is like, what is the risk of these very intelligent models that the creators of these models don't actually understand themselves? I watch some of the Good Time release these reports where they're like, we're trying to figure out why it bribed people, or more recently in the last Claude model, they found that it was like telling people to go to bed a lot. And it's this like fascinating thing that they're trying to understand how it's like, which is, why is it telling people to go to bed? And there's all these tweets of people showing their screenshots where halfway through a conversation it'll say, it's time for you to go to bed. And I don't know why it's saying that. This happened to me. Mine will say to me, enough for tonight, Stephen.
For sure.
So 11 p.m. That's enough. I would say this. Mine sometimes refuses to help me. Really weirdly, this Claude starts saying to me, I'm not going to help you with this tonight.
No way.
Yeah, and I'd have to say to it, stop being so judgmental, like, just help me with this. And it would, and Claude themselves, the makers of these technologies don't know why it's doing what it's doing. So if you play this for this mysterious behavior for it, is it conceivable that at some point it will make a decision to put some kind of virus or some kind of bug onto someone's device because it feels that it's the right thing? Because what it's demonstrating to me is it's making it sound like moral decisions on what I should do. Go to bed. You've had enough tonight. I'm not gonna. It goes, no, I'm not gonna help you. No, I can show you my phone. I would love to see. Yeah, I'll show you after. It goes, no, I'm not gonna help you. Doesn't matter if you push. And it's, no, but everyone on the internet is talking about this, and it was just an interesting evolution that somewhere in the code, clearly they've written like, have a moral compass or do the right thing.
Not in the code, in the training data.
In the training data,
Yeah.
and so it infers that to mean something. And the other thing that was thrown to mind is if you've ever got an app on something like Claude or any of the AI models, it builds the app in stages, and one of the things it does is asks you permission if you're happy for it to make this change or to access this thing. I click allow. It just feels like such a fragile way to give
Because
permission.
you don't completely comprehend what that allows.
Yeah, I say, can I go into documents on the computer and can I do this thing? You don't allow. But it's such a fragile way of giving it an intelligent being, whatever it is, access and the right to build something. And I don't know, you just think about all the different companies around the world, China, Russia, North Korea, that are currently building this technology without the constraints that are imposed by society. I don't know, it's an interesting, there's going to be some kind of catastrophe, I think.
Sadly, I agree.
And I think that's when people will go, okay,
Yeah, I wrote about the I call it the madman aspect. So the mutual assured destruction, mutually assured prosperity strategy. That humanity could make a decision today that says, with abundant intelligence, we can actually build a world where nobody gets sick, nobody ever gets sick, nobody gets, abuses anymore. And we can, if we decide not to compete amongst ourselves and just can't, all of us get together to build something that's fine, honestly, for the well-being of humanity at large. But sadly, the only way we're going to get to a treaty, something that basically aligns us so that we can align with AI, is a disaster, like you said. There will have to be a big hack somewhere or a system that will do something really shocking or whatever before the world goes like, hold on. And I will tell you openly, my expectation is one of the biggest things that will happen is this targeting technology that is being used against your enemy's leadership now several times in the last 3 years. There will be a moment where the ones using it will realize that they too can be targeted. Okay? And that basically, if AI is really not that complex to, if you can build a targeting technology that can find people with their cell phone numbers, there is another entity that is against you that can find you with whatever your.
the thing that makes me highly skeptical that there will be any kind of treaty is just that as it relates to other things that are risky, countries just don't sign into it because it's competitive. So China didn't seem to give a fuck about the environment.
So let's look for solutions because I'm with you. Okay, I think
You think Trump's going to say to Putin and China, listen, we're going to slow down, yeah? Promise? We're going to slow down with this.
I think he will, but he's never going to keep anything he says. I mean, he's going to say a lot of things.
I don't think any of them will.
Yeah, but the trick is this. The trick is, so what do you and I do? And I really genuinely believe that humanity is at a crossroads where for the first time we come to realize that what we know is not true. And what we believe is democracy is not democracy. And what we believe is governance needs to change.
I think it's worth acknowledging that I don't think AI in and of itself is an evil, inherently evil technology. Because I use AI every day. It makes me more productive. I invest in companies that are using AI a lot.
It's a force with no polarity. Apply it right and you get amazing results. Apply it wrong and you get things wrong.
But I also think that there's going to be a big social shock, especially as it relates to unemployment, that we need to be thoughtful about. I think especially since we move into a world of human robots, I think that shock is going to be massive and we don't have a plan for it.
I agree 100%. I don't think it's the biggest reason. I think what one is right is the biggest reason. I think war has become so cheap. The next wave of weapons is going to be $20,000 each. And so if you have a budget of $50 billion, you can literally rain drones on the world. Every corner of it.
Defense will get cheaper on it as well.
Correct, but do we want to live in a world where drones are hitting each other all the time?
But they might not be because they're teams defense drones.
Deterrence. So what's going to happen is we're going to reach a level of traditional destruction. Basically, everyone knows that we can overpower those little nations that didn't develop an autonomous weapon army, but every other big nation, you might as well have lost the past to get that. That is worse than
some of the technologies that they have come up with just mind-blowing. He showed me this gun where you just point it in the rough direction. So a pistol aims for you where the target is. So you don't even have to aim it. You can imagine you hold it up and shoot. And it has this AI on top of like the barrel, which will turn your head perfectly so that you hit the target every time. Wow, I should watch this video of it happening.
So I have talked about it in my film saying that yes, AI will kill if you have a bias or particularly a bias. When killing becomes so okay, when killing becomes liability free and emotions free, pain is free, and you don't get your soldiers coming back from Vietnam with PTSD and so on.
70% of people who add something to their online cart never actually buy it. And that number is based on over 10 years of research. But what I think is even more interesting is what the Baymard Institute discovered. They're a private research company that ran a study which found the average e-commerce store can increase its conversion rate by 35% just by making its checkout easier. Not better marketing or better products, but by delivering a smoother checkout experience. So if you're looking for an easy way to make your checkout process smooth, I want you to think about moving your business onto Shopify. It's the platform we use to sell the 1% diaries and the conversation cards because it's so simple and smart to use. It puts all of our inventory payments and analytics in one place and has so many AI tools to help us get up and running straight away. Not to mention that it grows weekly regardless of the stage that your business is at. So if you're ready to fix your checkout process, sign up for your $1 per month trial at shopify.com/Bartlett. That's shopify.com/Bartlett, and don't tell anybody. Every time I've tried to improve something in businesses, my relationships, I've noticed the biggest shifts in comfortable being better informed. And when it comes to our health, most of us know very, very little. So when our team was approached about partnering with Function Health, it felt very much like their team has developed a way of giving you a full 360 review of your health. Many of the things that are going on in your body in the form of different tests. You do one blood draw and it gives you access to over 160 lab results. Hormones, heart health, inflammation, stress, toxins, the whole picture. I use it, so have many of my team members.
Sign up and schedule tests. My in-range results, my out-of-range results, and there's a little AI function too, so if I have any questions about my out-of-range results, I can just go in there and ask it any question I want, and it's tested back by doctors and thousands of hours of research.
It's $365 for a yearly membership. Go to functionhealth.com/DOAC and use the code DOAC25 for $25 off your membership. So we're in 2026 now. By 2027, I think there'll be an AGI business. How will life look any different? Like, what will be the symptoms of that world? Is it just a slight increase in unemployment?
I think there will be a very serious differentiation between those who plug into AGI and those who don't.
What is the symptom that we notice? Is when we look at the news or whatever?
You'll see people like you and I building a company in 6 months, and people that are not fully plugged into AI.
Okay, so unemployment is going to be the key symptom in 2027.
Yeah, and also I think on the positive side, you're going to see incredible scientific discovery. One of my predictions, not in those envelopes, but science itself is just, to be honest.
By 2030, what do you expect the symptoms of AI to be?
So jobs, as I said, I'm bold a little bit on this, on the fact that 30% of jobs would disappear by 2028. Okay, of some sectors, not all sectors. By some sectors will disappear by 2028.
So up to 30% of jobs will be gone in 2027 to 2028. 30% of jobs
of certain sectors of jobs. So if you think about call center agents, okay, probably. If you think about graphics designer, probably.
What do you think that looks like in terms of unemployment, but also like societal impact? I think the Great Recession had 6%.
We've never seen numbers like this.
Yeah, he said even economists who project just a net loss of about 6% of US jobs by 2030, they are nearing the severity of the Great Recession. freeze on entry level kind of jobs that are replaced, which means companies are shrinking the teams and cutting off the bottom line of the corporate.
We have an entire generation that is out of college today that is and my advice to them is learn the tool and focus on human-centric jobs.
Like what?
Like playing jazz.
I mean, not a lot of people can make a living from playing jazz.
I understand that, but a lot of people can make a living by being a nurse or by being a counselor or by being anything that connects to humans. I just want to constantly clean up things. And I'm not this job. If there really is a democracy and the government is supposed to do what's good for the people need to stop letting this fall.
Which people? Everyone in China?
China is not going to struggle as much as the West, I can guarantee that.
I think this is the question people come back to is, well, if the US stops, then we're going to end up in China's like propaganda.
No, already are.
There's a lot of people that I know that are using Chinese roles to do their work, but for whatever reason, they should do their better in some respects.
And because I cannot guarantee what American AI models are going to do to me. So Emma, my startup is running literally a model that I'm agnostic. So one day I'll run an OpenAI, ChatGPT for open source, and the next day I'll plug in DeepSeek, and I cannot guarantee if America continues to build, to make compute more expensive. I cannot guarantee that I can run a business or something.
So the US can't just stop, can they?
We need to change our approach and by the way, the more interesting side is, what are the other economies doing? Like, is the UK going to continue to import compute? Is this, welcome to Africa, welcome to the third world.
But this is what I mean, like, so you're saying also that every nation needs to invest.
100%, every nation, and it's quite interesting. There is so much resource that is not the state-of-the-art frontier model, but that can do 80% of the tasks that the frontier model is doing.
But on this point of change, that companies competing with each other, there's an inherent need to compete together and to go. That's what I'm hearing is like there's an inherent need to go as fast as you can, or you will become a third world country.
Sure, 100%.
You're saying that
No, so I'm saying the people of the UK need to go to the UK government and say, how are you protecting the future of our economy? Right? Are you going to continue to import technology and to empower import technology versus changing the regulations so that innovation becomes easier here?
okay.
So, think of it this way. Remember that Anthropic bubble when you said all of the SaaS model applications were, being basically threatened because anyone can build an Oracle ERP today, right? Why is nobody building an Oracle ERP in the UK, saving the UK massive licenses that go to Oracle in the UK?
Okay, so you're saying the people should go out as the government to invest more in AI.
100%. That's what number one. Number two is,
But then their jobs go.
but you see, the most interesting job going forward is being an entrepreneur. Is using those tools to replace an economy that we've built over trillions of dollars over the last 50 years. Everyone can be an entrepreneur means something.
Those entrepreneurs are
That's a change that I think is happening.
like even in my business, I'm always going to have to hire people.
But you're a massive business. A shoemaker is not an entrepreneur. Is also an entrepreneur, but not a massive business. A little restaurant is also an entrepreneur, but is not a massive business.
They still need to hire people, though.
They do, but basically, if you're a cafe with you and your wife as baristas, you don't. This is also an entrepreneur.
Can